Alrighty, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's stream of Nightshade. You're the drug. We are on to episode 2. I had wanted to record some extra episodes of this week, but in all honesty, I went to a concert last week. And I've literally spent the entire week recovering from that concert because I have what the metalheads call a bangover. Did I go to a metal concert? No. Do I look like the type to listen to metal music? No. I went to a Fletcher concert. And I apparently was a little too enthusiastic and hurt my head and neck and shoulders. Woke up the next morning and I could barely get out of bed. Now, Mr. Kiwi, my little cat here, he's being a little destructive tonight. He found a little rusted nail in the carpet. So that's interesting. So I have no idea how long we will be streaming tonight. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. This is a wonderful, lovely game. Why did I save in slot 2? This is a wonderful, lovely game. No, I don't really listen to metal. Rock opera, I'm a big Meatloaf fan. Oh, great. Kiwi threw some paper on the floor. Excellent. Okay, so we've got some messages to look at. Oh, no. Sasha took a seat at the empty bus stop, thankful for the shade the top of the bench provided. He set the box in his lap and stared at it. On the other night, they found a dead dealer in an alley. The longer he stared at the box, the tenser his brows became. We'll drop it off at Club Trinity tonight. I'll be there. Sasha didn't notice his thumb. Kiwi? Okay, he's very upset with me. Sasha didn't notice his thumb starting to fray the cardboard tab on the box as he got lost in his thoughts. Be careful, Sasha. He fished his phone out of his jacket and sighed as he swiped through his contacts, his stomach rumbling loudly. Pulling up the box, he typed a quick message. Come here. Just come sit with me, please. You haven't even... Okay. You're being naughty. You are being extremely naughty, sir. Come here, Kiwi. He's being a butt. Okay. Just ignore him. Just ignore him. Don't give him any attention. Don't listen to anything he says. Okay, so want to meet up for food or... Oh my god. Kiwi! Okay. I think you gotta be out of here tonight, hun. You gotta go. You gotta go. You just knocked over the speaker. Someone's in a mood. Someone is in a mood. Yeah, he's being a butt. He usually normally naps, but I think that he's really upset with me because I went to that concert. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta leave the room, kiddo. You gotta go. I have to stream. Okay. Sorry about that. He just started climbing, and then he was almost going to pull down the ring light. He's very upset. Probably going to be crying throughout the majority of the stream. He's a very needy cat. I'm very concerned about his emotional development. Okay, so meet me at Trinity tonight. Okay, so we're just going to invite Mishka there. The sound of labor breathing accompanied by the steady impact of shoes on concrete while Mishka jogged down the street. A single earbud beeped to inform him in a new text. Really? What does he want from me now? He slowed to a stop near the corner of the street, pulling on his phone, while the other wiped his forehead. Mishka glanced at the message and dropped his shoulders as he read. That club's not a great place. Guess I'll go see what's up. He briefly glanced over his shoulder before eyeing the message again. Responding with a simple, yeah, I'll see you tonight, he pocketed the phone. With a heavy sigh, Mishka started jogging again. Damn, son, look at those thighs. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. He's just a man trying to live his life. Oh, for a second I was like, why is there a car alarm going off? The afternoon faded into night, and the city's neon glow illuminated the streets with various colors. A massive line had formed outside of Club Trinity, winding around the front of the building and continuing down the sidewalk. Loud music spilled from the doors every time they opened to let in the people. Sasha squinted as he looked down the line and searched for a familiar crop of pink hair. When he didn't spot his friend, he reached into his pocket to check his phone. His other arm held the purple blocks close to his side. Sasha. With a slight jump, Sasha turned around and saw his taller friend approaching. His shoulders eased down and he shoved his phone back into his pocket. I didn't think you were here yet. I was around the corner for a bit. The line wraps around the building. I didn't think it would be so busy tonight. Yeah, me neither.
So, wait.
Sasha, listen. We don't have to do this right now. Okay? We can do the whole apologies and feelings things after, okay? I just want to try to have a good time. Yeah, about that. About what? I'm here because I have a drop. Are you serious? It'll be quick, I promise. After that, we can head back to my place and order pizza or something. I should have known there was a catch. Hey, I'm sorry, okay? My boss literally texted me this afternoon. I wasn't supposed to work today. Sasha sighed and shifted the box beneath his arm. Mishka caught a glimpse at the ornate package Sasha was carrying. Where did you get that? Sasha followed Mishka's eyes to the box. It's my shipment. Fancy, huh? Have your shipments always looked like that? No, this one's new. My guess is they don't want it to look suspicious. It spreads faster through the city that way. Right. Come on. The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we can bail and go back to your place. I'd rather much do that than go inside, and honestly, on any other day I'd love to go clubbing, but not with my boss there. Makes sense. Do you have your C card? Looks like they're checking them at the door. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was a car or if that was Kiwi like yelling at me. The line was growing smaller by the minute, and the pair gradually made their way toward the front. Sasha stepped up to the bouncer at the entrance now that it was their turn. He brandished his C card and with a quick scan and a beep, headed toward the doors. Mishka stepped forward to do the same but stopped when he noticed something. Hey, I need your card. Ignoring the man's tone, Mishka stared intently toward the rooftops above them, his brows deeply furrowed. Hey, you want in or what? Mishka, come on, stop stargazing or whatever you're doing, you weirdo. I want to get this over with. Mishka looked away and exhaled sharply, handing over his C card to be scanned. He pocketed it a moment later and followed Sasha wordlessly. He stopped to look over his shoulder once more before stepping inside. You good, Mishka? Yeah. Okay, good. I need a drink. They were met by the pulsating, all-encompassing bass that shook the very foundation of the building. A cold wind blew between the buildings. Ooh. Get it? Yeah. The vibrations from the speakers rumbled in Sasha's chest so powerfully that he could feel it in his fingertips. Melon Milky? Hold on, is this a real at? I have to find this. At melon_milky. Oh my god, yeah, it's an artist. Oh, it's an artist. Is this the background artist? This might, maybe? It's a furry artist, from what I can see. That is interesting. I don't know if this is the person that... Interesting. Okay, at Bubble Gum... I don't know who the hell this is. Okay. The two pushed through the crowd, weaving tightly between people. Mishka stayed close behind Sasha, who seemed determined to get to the bar. Once they were there, Sasha slid into a high stool and propped his elbows on the countertop. Mishka stood next to him, easing close to Sasha's ear so his friend could hear him. You really need a drink to get through this. Sasha swatted at his friend playfully, making sure he still had his arm secured around the small purple box. It's just a drink. I want to loosen up a bit before heading over there. Where's the VIP room anyway? Pink Eye scanned the dancing crowd and swept around, trying to spot off any roped-off areas. Mishka looked back down at Sasha. In the back, somewhere over there, I think. Half leaning out of the stool and onto the counter, Sasha raised his voice to order the fruity drink. The bartender gave a nod and started mixing. Sasha grabbed a nearby napkin and started shredding it absent-mindedly. You want a drink? No, I'm good. Okay, that's weird. You drink more than I do. Are you still upset? No, really, I'm good. I just want to stay on my toes tonight. Sasha shrugged and wrapped nimble fingers around the glass that had just been set in front of him. He smiled at the bartender and stuck a tiny straw into the drink. He stirred the ice for a few seconds before taking a slow sip. Mishka watched his friend for a moment, his brow lifting curiously. Are you stalling? What? No, I'm not. Okay, yeah, you are. I just don't want to go back there. The shredder remains of Sasha's napkin sat in a neat pile next to his drink, leaving him to play with his straw. Look, the sooner you do this, I know, the sooner I can be done with it. I get it. Alexei can wait for a while. It's fine. You want to try this? Sasha. Mishka draped an arm around Sasha, reached for a drink in his friend's hands. And okay, now I'm going to look at this one now that I can see it. At Bubble Gum Bun Bun? Schrodinger's Cat Boy. I mostly post about anime. Yes. Fair. I have no idea who this is. I have no idea who this is. No idea who that is. Okay. I don't know who that is. He reached for the drink in his friend's hands and took a sip. It's not that bad. Now, come on. You can do this, right? It is that bad. Alexei sucks. With a groan, Sasha stood up and leaned into Mishka's one-armed embrace. He finished the rest of his drink in one swift motion and set the empty cup on the counter behind them. As they pushed their way through the dance floor, it became apparent just how packed the club really was. Sasha squeezed past a few people with Mishka following close behind. Does this man right here have a mullet? This man has a mullet in the year of our Lord and Savior? Okay. And the door before them was a bright red, a stark contrast against the darkness of the club's walls. A broad-shouldered man stood at the threshold with his arms crossed. Sasha moved close. Hey, Richard, was it? I'm here to see Alexei. Mishka glanced behind them once they reached the door, scanning the faces in the crowd. What's the phrase? Oh, shit, what was it? The bouncer eyed Sasha a little skeptically, then looked over at Mishka, who merely shrugged in response. I'm with him. Oh, it's alone the wolf dies out. Cringe, but okay. When the bouncer gave an affirming nod, he stepped to the side and opened the door. I was a wolf kid in middle school energy. That's what that secret passageway means. I know. Oh, no. Mullets should not. They're bad. Mullets are not good. Sasha and Mishka walked inside the purple box still cradled under Sasha's arm. About time. There he is, the man of the hour. Did you have trouble finding the room? Not really. Then I guess you have another reason for taking so damn long. A wave of snickers erupted from the people arranged around Alexei, none of whose names he could recall off the top of his head. Alexei, who was reclining comfortably on a couch in the middle of the room, slipped a finger into his mouth and rubbed at his front teeth. The man clapped his hands together and smiled widely at Sasha. I see you brought an unexpected friend. Who's he? He nodded toward Mishka, who stood quietly behind Sasha's left side. He's with me. Don't worry about him. Right. Well, did you bring the supply or did you forget about it? As if I'd come up here to just hang out with you. Otherwise, I picked it up this afternoon. You know, when you texted me. Alexei chuckled and held his hand expectantly. Sasha handed the box over and watched as his boss sat on the little coffee table in front of him. The folding lock was opened and Alexei peered inside. Oh, that is a different voice than I imagine this man having. There it is, boys. His smile growing smugger. Sealed inside the bag were a few pastel tablets. So are we good? You'll leave when I tell you to leave. Well, so the last of my supply to some jerk at the tower. So will I be getting more? You're going to be selling a whole lot more. Don't you worry about that. Not worried. Well, good job. Security's hard to come by these days. Smiled at Sasha a few seconds longer than he was comfortable. After returning the baggie back inside the box, Alexei turned toward a man guarding the door and beckoned him over. Here, take this to this warehouse off Kempa. Get it there by tonight. Warehouse? Are they just going to store it? I can make 3 months' rent off of that supply. Well, you got the shipment, so chill the hell out, Sasha. Mishka stepped a little closer. Dude, I just want to go home. This is supposed to be my day off. Sasha could feel his blood pressure rising. Either that or the alcohol was kicking in. Feeling a little cheeky today. Fine. Go. But Sasha, what? We'll have another shipment for you by next week. I'll text when it's ready. It will be double the amount this time, so make sure you sell it all. I know how to do my job. Alexei waved his hand dismissively and focused his attention back to his phone. Sasha, come on, let's go. Secured the package. And one more thing. Mishka is here. Oh. Uh-oh. Mishka's gaze swept across the crowd again. He craned his neck to look up at the ceiling briefly. Sasha leaned towards Mishka, his hands deep in his jacket pockets, nudging his friend to get his attention. What are you looking at? Nothing, right? Anyway, can we go now? My mood is tanking by the minute. I think maybe we should stay a while. You know, we came all this way. What? You said that we could leave after the drop. You want to stay? Mishka smirked softly and reached forward to wrap his arm around his friend's middle. Pulled Sasha close and started backing up onto the dance floor. He leaned near his ear to speak. Sasha groaned in response and resisted his friend's pull. I changed my mind. I want to dance with you. Bullshit. You're just killing time so I don't have to kick your ass at Dragon Lad. Fine. You got me. Dance with me anyway. Mishka swayed into the crowd and brought Sasha with him. Sasha wanted to stay mad but couldn't help smiling. He rolled his eyes and pushed at his friend's chest a bit, putting some space between them. Okay, fine, but I needed the drink first. The evening was awful. All right. Go get your drink. Mishka watched his friend disappear into the throngs of people as he headed to the bar. When Sasha was a good distance away, Mishka made for the bathrooms and quickly shut himself inside a stall. He pulled out his phone and pressed his free hand to his ear to shut out the rest of the muffled noise of the club. Dima, did you get my text? Did you get someone to sweep the area out here? Yeah, I saw him. I don't know if he was tailing me or just in the area, but I saw him. How long is that going to take? Yeah, okay, thanks. Gotta go. Bye. After shoving his phone back into the pocket, Mishka pushed the stall door open and returned to the dance floor. It didn't take too long for him to spot Sasha dancing. Hey, did you get the same drink? Where'd you go? I thought you bailed on me for a second. Bathroom. What drink did you get? Without asking, Misha took the glass from Sasha's hand and sipped at it. He smirked down at his friend and held it a little above Sasha's head. Poison. How's it taste? Tart. It's a fruit bomb, they called it. Sasha chuckled and grabbed the drink back. He took a long swig and started to sway, feeling the music course through him. Mishka mirrored his friend, his head bouncing gently while they started to dance. He pushed himself close to Sasha, which wasn't difficult given how little room they had on the crowded dance floor. His drink in hand, Sasha rocked close to his tall friend. They got lost in the ebb and flow of the music, their bodies moving easily to the beat. A floaty feeling crept into Sasha's head, making him feel giddy and light. Well, are you feeling better yet? Sasha gave Mishka a side eye, his smile widening. The drink helps, and I love this song. Taking the last swallow of his drink, Sasha set the empty glass down on the nearby surface and returned his attention to dancing. When Mishka bent close, a tinge of heat prickled at Sasha's neck. He felt his cheeks flush. Your face is red. The breath against Sasha's ear was hot and enticing, sending a wave of warmth down his arms. But before Mishka could entertain the thought of ghosting his lips over his ear, Sasha danced a few steps back. With their eyes locked on each other, Sasha's flirtatious smile signaled the start of a game both were familiar with. Keeping his movements in. Wait a minute. They're both familiar with it, i.e. they've hooked up before? So they've hooked up before is what you're telling me. Keeping into Mishka's belt loops. He pulled his friend closer with ease, and Mishka was more than happy to oblige. Sasha angled his head upward and pressed his lips fleetingly to Mishka's jaw. Mishka. Oh my God. You know we're hitting that. You know we're hitting that. You know we're hitting that. I am unashamed, unafraid. Sasha's fingers crept up Mishka's side and glided over his skin through the fabric. Let's find somewhere less crowded. Mishka kept his eyes trained on Sasha, his faint smile widening. This place is packed. Let's find somewhere that's not packed. Oh my God. Oh, that's right. It was implied in the last stream. I just didn't remember it. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Ugh. Having an FWB sounds so stressful. When do you know when you're being friends and when do you know that you're in it to win it? You know what I'm saying? How do you know? That street was quiet in comparison to the loud, hot room the pair just stepped out of. The night air at the cut between the buildings felt cool against Sasha's skin. Mishka looked up toward the tops of the buildings as soon as they were outside. He glanced over his shoulder and then peered at Sasha. You all right? Everything hurts. Did you call a taxi? Sasha's voice was just above a mumble. His ears still rang from the music and he was feeling lightheaded. I will go back in my personal time to figure out exactly if this goes into some, I'm assuming there's some spicy stuff that's been cut out at the club here. Quite a bit of stuff if they were hanging out at the club and trying to find a private place and then they just cuts to them outside. Okay. You already asked. Yeah, maybe that is possible. You already asked me that. I said yes. Oh. Sasha closed his eyes and laughed before he bundled up tighter in his jacket. Mishka smiled at his disoriented friend and wrapped an arm around him, making sure he wouldn't trip over his own feet. You'll have no trouble getting to sleep tonight. Yeah. The rideshare pulled up to the curb where tired Sasha was propped against his friend. Here we go. Ooh, luxurious. Mishka pulled the car door open and held it for Sasha, who easily slipped inside. When Sasha was in, Mishka looked back up to the rooftops. Leather upholstery of the back seat was pleasantly cool. and immediately pressed his heated cheek up against it. Mishka leaned inside the car and reached to offer his C card to the driver. Just charge twice the normal rate and make sure he gets home safe. Sasha's brow furrowed and his head quickly swiveled toward Mishka. Wait, you're not coming with me? Mishka smiled at him. Nah, something came up. Sasha squinted at his friend. That's stupid. Yep, but I gotta deal with it. The driver handed Mishka's card back to him. Mishka slipped it into his pocket and leaned on the door for a moment. Don't give me that face. I'm gonna. The pouty word didn't last long and slowly eased into a smile. I'll text you when I'm done. Sasha felt more appeased when Mishka reiterated his plans and nodded. Fine, go do stupid stuff. Mishka chuckled and waved to Sasha before closing the car door. He watched the car pull away and head down the street. His smile slipped away as he turned to walk in the other direction. Pulled out of a deep sleep, Sasha groaned into consciousness. Lifting his head from the pillow, he squinted over at his phone where it stood on the TV stand. Are you serious? It's so far. He flopped his head back down into the cool pillow and shut his eyes. Propping himself up on one elbow, he glanced back over at the phone. Its screen shone like a beacon in the bright, dark room. What time is even... sure. Not even bothering to check the caller ID, Sasha begrudgingly grabbed his phone and pressed it to his ear. What? Labor breathing echoed over the line. Sasha's brow tensed, his lips pressing tight. Is this a joke? Who is this? Gauze, thread, needle, peroxide. Get on the red line. Take it 3 stops. Sasha's breath hitched in his throat. What? He felt his blood run cold at the sound of the unfamiliar voice, and his heart dropped into his stomach. His entire body froze, unable to move. I'm in an alley, 53rd and 4th intersection behind the blue dumpster. What happened? Go get everything. Take a deep breath. Sasha shook himself out of his daze and launched himself out of his bed, hurrying towards the bathroom. He tucked the phone between his ear and shoulder so he could free up his hands. I'm leaving now. I'm on my way. Damn it, where's my first aid kit? The clatter of items falling over in the small bathroom made Mishka chuckle softly. Don't drop anything, jeez. Sasha couldn't laugh, not on a time like this. His hand shook as he assembled everything and shoved it all into a plastic bag. Hello, Cody. Welcome to the stream. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming now. Hang on. He raced to the door, grabbed his jacket and keys, and left as fast as he could. Mishka's ragged breathing was the only sound between them as Sasha bolted his way to the subway station. It was the longest train ride of Sasha's life. His body felt numb even as he jogged where Mishka told him to go. 53rd and 4th, 53rd and 4th, 53rd, and the plastic bag crinkled his jacket as he ran, but he paid it no mind. At this point, all discretion had been tossed out the window. The alley was dark and damp. In any other situation, he would have avoided it completely, but now he bolted right in. Hey, I'm here. Where are you? Sasha whipped his head around, searching for his friend. There was no response. Mishka! Mishka, where are you? Shh, over here. Sasha jumped before he turned to the source of the voice. Oh, my guy. What was that damage, my guy? Okay, seated beside a dumpster with one leg stretched out and the other pulled up to his chest with a hood and Mishka. He held his side tightly with both hands and could barely lift his head to look at Sasha. Sasha rushed over and dropped beside him, eyes wide. He started to untie the plastic bag with shaking hands. Mishka, where are you injured? What happened? Mishka shook his head and feebly reached up to grab his mask. He pulled it down with his mouth with a groan. With his hands no longer covering his side, the dark red liquid seeping through the shirt became visible. Sasha's stomach flipped at the sight. Mishka! There's no time. Get the peroxide. Did you bring the sewing kit? Taking the edge of his shirt in his hand, Mishka peeled the wet cloth off his skin with a pain hiss. A sudden stream of blood poured from a gaping wound just below his ribcage. It ran down his skin and pooled beneath him, staining the asphalt. Sasha's heartbeat began to pulse in his ears. His head felt light, dizzy even. All thought left his mind. He couldn't look away from the stab wound. Sasha, do you know how to sew? Oh my God, if somebody asked me that in a time of crisis, I'd be like, nah, man. I did terribly in home economics during when we had a home economics class, which was like in junior high. I was resoundingly terrible with sewing. The teacher was surprised that I was that bad. I don't have the coordination necessary to even sew like a simple button. I was good at other things. I can't sew. What? No, then thread the needle at least, please. Sasha nodded and rummaged through the bag until he found the needle and thread. I might just staple a person shut if I was in that position. What if there was, okay, guys, but imagine that there was a horror movie where to save the person, you needed to sew them shut, but the person doesn't know how to sew. So they instead decide to use a stapler. That would be choice. That would be really funny. I would love it if a horror film did that, where it's like, all you have to do is sew the wound shut. I don't know how to sew, bro. Can I look this up on YouTube really quick? Like, that would be so funny. His hands wouldn't stop shaking when he tried to push the thin string through the metal loop. I can't do it. Mishka Winston balled up his shirt. Oh my god, he can't sew! Mishka Winston balled up his shirt, pressing it firmly against the wound. His brows were tense, but he glanced at Sasha. Why not call an ambulance? Keep your voice down. I don't. Sasha could feel his eyes welling up, his throat tightening painfully. Attempting to clear his vision, he wiped at his eyes with his sleeve. It's all right. Just take a deep breath. Mishka's voice sounded further and further away. Sasha choked back with the sob that threatened to jump up in his throat. It hurt to hold it in. I can't do it. Mishka did his best to lean away from the dumpster and lifted his hands to rest over Sasha's. Although bloody, they were surprisingly not shaking. Deep breath, just one thread. Steady your hands. With Mishka's grip stabilizing his own, Sasha was finally able to push the thread through. A small wave of relief hit him. Got it. Here. Mishka grimaced when he poured the peroxide over the wound, flashing gritted teeth. Don't look. He took the needle from Sasha and began to sew the wound closed. Oh my god, he's sewing his own wound closed! This man! That's kind of hot. Sasha looked away, feeling sick to his stomach. He peered up at the fire escape above them, then over to the window with the flickering neon sign, then back down at the puddles scattered on the ground around them. Suddenly, Sasha caught a glimpse of something reflected in one of the puddles. His head shot up. At the mouth of the alley stood a dark silhouette, its long shadow reaching out towards them. Sasha's heart skipped a beat, his eyes wide. Mishka. Mishka tied off the thread and looked up, turning his head in the direction his friend was staring. Sasha, help me up now. Sasha stared at the figure ahead of them, who was now approaching in a slow walk. Sasha, now. As if shaken from a trance, Sasha shook his head and scrambled to help his taller friend up. Two more silhouettes joined the first, all three drawing closer by the second. Sasha, run, go. And leave you? Stop playing around and come on, please. There was no time. Using what other adrenaline was left in him, Mishka pushed off the pavement and started running, Sasha close at his side. If you want to impress Chloe, you better get stabbed. I mean, I don't know. Speaking of stabbings, I'm going to go see that slasher film tomorrow, X. It's supposed to be really good. Each step hurt more than the last. His body screamed at him to stop. Ooh. They ran on the corner of the alley, small drops of blood spattering in Sasha's wake. Mishka's wake. The pair stopped in their tracks when they saw the large brick wall ahead of them. It was a dead end. No. Ragged breaths were getting faster. Mishka's gaze darted upwards, and he pointed the fire escape above them. We can climb it. We just have to pull down the ladder. Can you reach? Mishka grimaced and grabbed his side, hunched over. The pain was agonizing. I don't know. Sasha turned back toward the ladder and jumped for the lowest rung. He couldn't reach it. Sasha, they're coming. Sasha jumped again, every muscle in his body stressed to its limit. His arms swiped desperately for the ladder. The approach fingers brandished for knives while their footsteps grew louder. Without hesitation, Mishka gripped Sasha around the middle and lifted him as best he could. He cried out, an agonized expression twisting his face. He clenched his jaw and continued to push Sasha up toward the ladder. He could feel the thread of his stitches begin to rip. Sasha wobbled a little but stretched out his arms and reached for the lowest rung. When his fingers grabbed on the cold metal, he gasped. I got it! Mishka backed off and gave a faint smile. Good, now pull hard. Sasha gave the ladder a sharp tug. Nothing happened. Sasha's breathing sped up, panic coursing through when he realized the ladder was stuck. No, please. Mishka spun around, wincing in pain at the sudden movement. His eyes fixed on the three silhouettes closing in on them. They were surrounded. Climb it, Sasha, go. Sasha shook his head, a choked sob forcing its way out. Not without you. How can this be happening? I can't believe this is... The first assailant stepped out of the shadows and into the dim neon glow of the valley, his gold eyes gleaming. Ooh, it's hot stuff with the thick thighs. You're an annoying cockroach, Mishka, but I'm sure you know that. Ooh, he's without warning, ate a leap forward with both knives in hand. Mishka darted backward and raised his arms to cover his chest and head. His blades slashed with blinding speed, cutting deep into Mishka's forearms. Oh, owie, owie. They have an animation for it. Mishka. Sasha held tight into the metal rung, unable to pull himself up any further, but unable to let himself drop either. The second attacker's fingers wrapped around Sasha's ankle and yanked him ruthlessly off the ladder. Oh, shit. He hit the ground hard. A sharp pain shot through his leg on impact, and the air was knocked from his chest. Ah! A third figure charged toward him. Blow after blow rained down on him and thrashed his entire body. It was excruciating. The bitter metallic taste of blood filled his mouth and spilled from his lips. Something heavy hit Sasha on the back of the head so hard his vision blurred. Not even the adrenaline coursing through him could block out the intense pain. I'm gonna die. That's enough. We got what we came for. Distinctly, he could hear Mishka desperately screaming his name. A loud ringing echoed in his ears, and the world around him seemed to slow. This can't be happening. Sasha turned his head to the right, forcing his aching eyes open as best as the Mishka. Mishka! Dragging a fighting Mishka toward a car at the mouth of the alley was incomprehensible to Sasha. He fought to stay conscious. Sasha's entire body refused to move. He weakly tried to turn over, attempting to crawl after his friend, but nothing happened. His body wouldn't respond. The car door slammed shut. The sound was muffled and distant. Sasha whimpered, hopelessness sinking in as the vehicle drove away and drove off. His fingers twitched, scraping against the pavement. He still couldn't move. All he could do was lay there, helpless. I can't hold on. Sasha's vision began to narrow. Darkness closing in. What if I don't wake up? Mishka, I'm worried he sent the distress call, but he's not here. A deep voice filled the alley. Someone was coming. No, there's someone else here. He's been beaten up pretty bad. Tell him to go to send a medic team. I'm bringing him in. The pain became distant, and Sasha's consciousness slipped away. No, I can't. I can't hear anything. Ma'am? Hello? Where am I? Oh, hello, Bri. Welcome to the stream. The afternoon sun beat down on the old playground and laughter echoed through the clearing. A group of rowdy kids elbowed each other to get to the monkey bars, sprinting past the swings where one boy sat alone. Oh, he's baby! His hair was scruffy and brown, and the tips of his shoes could barely touch the ground as they scored the sand beneath him. The rough crunch of dirt grew louder as another child ran up to the lone boy. You're new. Oh my God, who would dress this boy like this? Oh, I guess the blue shorts don't really match the vibes here that's coming on with this top. The boy's low gaze fixed on a pair of tennis shoes standing in front of him. He looked up. I've never seen you before. I'm like here every day. The breath from the jog over the kid. That's so cute. So this is Mishka. Mishka was shorter than Sasha when they were kids. That's so cute. The glow up. Oh my God. Out of breath from the jog over, the kid gasped the words between his panting. I just moved here. He looked back down. His fingers fumbled with the chains of his swing. That checks out. Why are you just sitting there? The boy shrugged and watched his foot draw circles in the sand below. Sasha, we're playing chicken. You're on my team. Sasha turned his head and yelled back. I am a minute. Instead of joining the other kids, he walked over and sat on the swing next to the quiet boy, now watched him with confusion. I think your friends want to play. So what's your name? My name's Sasha. Mikhail. His voice was a little more than a mumble. So Mishka, right? Mikhail. Do you know how to swing? Why are you just sitting there? Mishka only shrugged again. You don't really talk much, do you? Sasha pursed his lips and began drumming his hands on his thighs, looking slowly around the playground. Want to come play on the monkey bars? I don't know how. It's easy. Hopping off the swing, Sasha motioned for the kid to follow him. Mishka reluctantly slid off the swing before adjusting his sweater sleeves to cover his hands. He followed. Sasha, we can't play chicken with uneven numbers. We're not playing chicken. Mishka doesn't know how to climb monkey bars. Who's Mishka? Sasha pointed at the kid who'd already looked back down at his feet. I'm teaching him how to use the monkey bars, so move over. Not waiting for them to move, Sasha started climbing up the metal ladder on the side. The others jumped to the ground in showy fashions before dusting themselves off and leaving to find something else to leap from. I'm really good at this, so just do exactly what I do. Come over here and try to hang on them. Sasha reached up and hung from one of the bars while facing his new friend so he could watch him try. Mishka watched the other kids leave before following Sasha up the ladder and grabbing a bar himself. Good. Okay, now try to pull yourself up. Before he could finish, Mishka had already climbed to the top of the monkey bars with ease. He turned to sit, with his legs dangling off the side. Well, that's beginner stuff anyway. Sasha hoisted himself up to join the quiet boy who was biting his lips to hold back a smile. The next level is hanging upside down. It makes you look like a bat, and it's super dangerous. Sasha confidently spun around and hooked his legs over the side of the monkey bars before letting himself fall backward. His face began to flush from all the blood rushing to his head. See, if you fall, you probably break your neck. But if you do fall, you have to tuck and roll. Despite Sasha's very ominous and very accurate warning, Mishka did exactly what he saw his new friend. As soon as he was upside down, his shirt began to fall. He shot out a hand to pin it to his stomach. You said you didn't know how. I didn't. It's probably because I'm a good teacher then. Sasha laughed, feeling a little lightheaded from tangling there. After a few seconds, Mishka joined in with a timid smile. Okay, well, next you have to flip off. So put your legs like this. Wah! In the middle of his demonstration, Sasha's hand slipped. Before Mishka could react, the other boy had fallen to the dirt below. Sasha! Mishka effortlessly flipped off the monkey bars and crouched next to Sasha. Luckily, the other boy's neck was, in fact, not broken. Sasha sat up with his hand covering the side of his face. His expression twisted into a frustrated pout. You didn't tuck and roll. When he pulled his hand away, there was a smudge of blood on his palm. You're bleeding. There was a throbbing pain in Sasha's left brow. It stung when he touched it. This never happens. His eyes started to water as he defended himself, but he wouldn't let himself cry. I have bandages at my house. After helping Sasha up the ground, Mishka tugged him toward the sidewalk. I'm serious. This never happens. Sasha followed Mishka across the street and inside an apartment building he'd never been in before. Mishka opened the door to his apartment and flicked the hall light on. Sasha followed him. You live really close. I'm going to get the med kit. Once he off upstairs, Sasha took the opportunity to quietly snoop around the house. The room echoed with his footsteps since there was almost nothing to absorb the sound. Aside from a sofa and a dining table, it looked just like a move-in-ready apartment. Making his way to the kitchen, Sasha walked to the fridge and opened the freezer in hopes of finding ice for his cut. There was no ice. There wasn't anything. Curious, Sasha opened the fridge door. It was just as empty, except for some milk, cheese, and a few protein drinks. Mishka came running back downstairs, peering around in confusion before realizing that his friend must have wandered off to the kitchen. I have the bandages. What are you looking for? You have, nothing to eat. Did you move in today? He shut the fridge and turned to Mishka, who shook his head. Sasha didn't question further when he watched Mishka open the kit and pull out a cotton ball, peroxide, and an adhesive bandage. He grabbed the cotton ball and went to rinse it in the sink, dabbing gently at the cut. The cool water offered much relief to the burning wound. We need to disinfect it first. No, that stuff stings. Just give me a bandage. Mishka hesitated at first, but eventually handed it over. He slapped it on. Let's go to my house. We have snacks and stuff. Mishka played with the bottom of his shirt, looking down. It's just for a little while. It'll be fine. The casual reassurance was enough to convince Mishka. He nodded. With the afternoon street and around the corner to Sasha's apartment building. Once inside, Sasha kicked his shoes off and left them on the entry rug before returning to walk in the kitchen. Mishka watched him quietly and took his shoes off as well, leaving them beside Sasha's. The kitchen was small, but every inch of the counter space had something on it. Bread, cooking spoons, chip bags, nuts, a mixer, a bit of everything, really. In a practiced fashion, Sasha grabbed a few bags, shoved a licorice rope in his mouth, and pulled a box of premium sandwiches from the fridge. Oomph! Taking that as permission to follow, Mishka plopped himself down on the living room floor next to Sasha. The other boy spread out his collection of goodies. Sasha pulled the licorice against his teeth until a large piece snapped off. He offered it to Mishka. Here, try these. As Sasha snacked away, Mishka took a small bite, which turned into a few bites until the stick was gone. The watermelon ones are my favorite, but the cherry ones are okay too. Do you like Dragon Lad? I have the first and second games. I'm almost done unlocking all the different levels. I've never played it before. It's so fun. Here, I'll show you. There's this one level where you're flying through a volcano, and Sasha continued talking as he booted up the game system. Mishka pulled his legs in and watched the screen. The front door opened once more. Sasha, are you here? Sasha yelled back, living room! His mom made her way around the corner. She smiled at the boys while she began undoing her earrings. I thought I heard two voices in here. Who's your new friend? He barely said anything, woman. How did you hear him? He just moved here. Mishka pulled his legs in tighter. Well, hi, Mishka. Are you staying with us for dinner? Unsure how to answer, Mishka timidly shrugged. I'll just make a whole pot anyway. Oh, Sasha. She stopped to pull a handful of colorful packages from her bag, giving them a gentle toss into the carpet. Sasha's eyes lit up as he raced over to scoop them all up. My cheetah gum! Don't forget to share it. Sasha turned to share his gum, but there was no one there. He looked around. Mishka? He stood up and walked to the kitchen to see if Mishka had slipped inside when he wasn't looking. It was just his mom setting his pot on the stove. Mom, have you seen Mishka? Beep. Sasha frowned. Mom? Beep. What's going on? Beep. Beep. Homie? Hello? Okay, there we go. Beep. The smell of rubbing alcohol. Beep. It was so bright. Beep.
Only take a minute. After that, we can send him back.
No! That's enough! You stay out of that room, Dima!
I need you to calm down, Pav. Any information he may have could help us lead us to Mishka. Hasn't he been through enough? We have other things we need to focus on right now. Beep. Who? I know you're upset, but the recall will have to wait. This is more important. If he saw something, then we need to know. Every second counts, Pav. I said you're not going in there. Give him some space, for Christ's sake. Excuse me. Can't believe this. Sasha's fingers twitched gently. The muffled argument outside the room seemed to have quieted down. The door opened and caught Sasha's attention. He turned his head as best he could and watched as a man in a white coat approached him. How are you feeling, Alexander? Just Sasha. Sasha it is. I always prefer shorthand anyway. My name's Dr. Sexy. His name's Dr. Sex. That's Cam. That is Cam. I'm just coming to check on you, let you know what you're doing. Looks like your vitals are a bit better than last night, so that's good. The ECG machine beeping rapidly. Every inch of his body ached. He weakly tried to shift beneath the layers of blankets piled on top of him and grimaced. It hurts a lot. I'll bet you've got some bruising and concussion in his sprained wrist. You also had a tiny bit of internal bleeding, but don't worry. We fixed you right up and you're good as new. Where am I? All I could see outside the window was the tip of Strex's tower. You're in Strex's private heart of HQ. In your condition, there's no place you'd rather be than here. Trust me. Glancing back down at his chart, the doctor patted the railing on the side of the bed. We'll get you some more painkillers and keep you a little while longer under observation, just to make sure the concussion's under wraps. Sasha shook his head and stared at his feet. The pit of his stomach felt empty and hollow, and nausea threatened the back of his jaw. The doctor looked away and sighed softly. Just then, the sliding door to Sasha's room opened again. This time, a larger man with navy hair and an eye patch walked in. Good afternoon, Dima. Good afternoon. Am I interrupting? Dima drew near and stood at the end of the bed, eyeing Sasha, not waiting for the doctor's response. Ah, no, I was just telling Sasha here to rest up in a stress-free environment. No stress, Dima. None. No stress. The doctor raised his eyebrows with a faint smile and stared knowingly at Dima a little longer than he was comfortable. Dima gave a soft laugh that nodded. All right. No stress. Scout's honor. As if you were ever a scout. Turning back to Sasha, the doctor patted his foot gently. Take it easy, Sasha, and make use of that call button if you need anything. Sasha watched the two, pain in his head throbbing. He sighed and watched the doctor walk out of the room, leaving him alone with the other man. Once the door clicked shut, Sasha looked toward Dima, who was still standing at the end of the bed. Mr. Kiwi, he's knocking on my door. Dima sighed and pulled up a chair. Sitting at the bedside, he sat down and leaned on his knees. We'll probably be ending this here at the hour-long mark, just because doing visual novels for Let's Plays does tend to be very, very hard on my voice. I think I did an hour and a half last time. So, yeah. Mr. Kiwi, he keeps knocking on my door. How am I feeling? Are you serious? Dima looked away. Look, I feel like shit. I don't know where I am or where my friend is, or his fist balled into the fabric of the bed sheets and gripped them tightly. Who are you even? Who were those people? Where's Mishka? The ECG monitor began to beat faster, and Sasha's neck felt hot and tingly. His breathing was heavy, and the tension in his brows made the headache even worse. Sasha, please calm down. Sasha scoffed and tore his gaze away from the man. Oh, Kiwi managed to get the door open. What the heck? Okay, hold on one sec, guys. There he is. Hi, Kiwi. How did you unlock the door? Okay. You're okay. Just sit. Please just sit. You can sit and just sit and be a good boy. I want to help you. I do. I also need any information. Good boy, Kiwi. Good boy, sweetie. I want to help you. I do. I also need any I think it does, but he can like he figured out a way to like unhook it and he can shake it and then break it away. From what I'd noticed. And if I don't lock it, he can definitely get it open. He's just that you're just that good at opening doors. Huh? Yeah. I want to help you too. I also need any information you have about that night. There's only so much I can do with what little information we currently have. You didn't answer my question. Who are you? He's like so happy. He's just looking right up at me. Dima pinched the bridge of his nose. You don't need to tell me how that happened. It is a door handle. It's not like a traditional like rounded knob. Hi, baby. You don't need to tell you don't need to know me to tell me what happened. I don't know what happened. What's going on? His anger was rising despite the pain. He was sitting in a hospital room completely alone, and the last thing that he could remember. Oh, look, Sasha, if you can tell me anything about what you remember from last night, we'll have a better chance of finding Mishka. So he's still alive? Does that mean that you know who took Mishka? Dima's brow furrowed and he let out a sigh. Sasha, there's no time for this. I need to know what you remember. Just being fine. You're okay. I don't remember anything. Sasha looked away, lifting his bandaged hand to rub his nose. The rough motion made it sting, which just annoyed him further. Okay, you gotta go out in the hallway again if you're gonna be a butt. If you're gonna be a butt, you gotta go out in the hallway. I'm sorry. You gotta give me 15 more minutes. Just give me 15. Don't act like you're sleepy. As soon as I put you down, you're gonna act like you wanna play. Sasha looked away, lifting his bandaged hand, rub his nose. The rough motion made it sting, which just annoyed him further. You don't remember anything. Dima, was it? How do you even know Mishka? The moment his friend's name left his lips, Sasha felt a lump form in his throat. His gaze dropped to his hands while they fumbled with the sheet. I just need whatever info. Dima exhaled roughly with a scowl. He looked up and stared at Sasha for a few moments, his features softened. He works for me. That's why I need to find him. I am going to pry this man for some info. What kind of work? Dima tilted his head ever so slightly and eyed Sasha for a moment. His fingers steepled and pressed to his lips. What? Mishka never told you. Obviously not. Why would I ask if I knew? Do I even want to know? I run a company that deals in trade favors. Yeah, it's easier for him to open. I've watched him like open doors. I've watched him open like tons of shit. It's been weird. He can open like a lot of things. I've watched him like open like lids, like food container lids. He can somehow get enough leverage to like open one. Oh my god, now he's just sleeping. I run a company that deals in trade favors and protection for the city. Mishka is an employee here. Sounds like a shady ass company to me. This Brad. I don't remember what happened, so I can't help you. Well, then we'll give you another day to rest. I'll ask again tomorrow. Sasha's head whipped back. He's gotten some things opened. He also chews through a lot of things. Hi, sweetie. I know you love mommy. I know you love me. You love me too much. You love me way too much. He's like, I'm sorry, did you want to use the bathroom by yourself? That's not possible. I'm just going to come in and sit with you. He's like, I'm sorry, did you want an hour to yourself in your own house? That's not possible. Sasha's head whipped back up to Dima. I'm hoping that he'll outgrow it one day just because I'm worried about him being independent because, like, this is not practical. Wait, you mean I have to stay here? You don't have to do anything, but the people who took Mishka know your face, and this is the safest place to be right now. It's in your best interest. Now, if you want to leave this hospital room, there's an apartment prepared for you on the upper floors. Hi. Sasha gazed at the tall man for another moment before begrudgingly nodding. He didn't want to stay another minute in this room. But I'll have a change of clothes brought up. Meet me in the hall when you're ready. Sasha said nothing while the man stood from the chair and made out of the room. I want to go home. Mishka, where are you? Sasha stepped out of the hospital room, clutching a bag with his old clothes and shoes stuffed inside. Wet, bloody, and a bit ripped, they were in no condition to be worn. Instead, he put on the outfit Dima had sent up to the room. Good. I'm glad everything fits. You ready? Whatever. Whatever. Everything hurt when he walked, even his feet. Sasha grimaced as he followed the man down the hall later, not even trying to take in any of his surroundings. He just stared down at the plain pair of shoes that he had been given. Dima stood silently next to him, and after they stepped out of the elevator, guided Sasha down another hall until they arrived outside of what looked like a hotel room door. This will be your room. We've updated the permissions on your C card. Yes. Okay. It will work for the door and getting food from the cafeteria. All of the necessities are already in the room. Okay. You can order room service if you'd like. Oh my God. What would they make for room service, do you think, in a prison? Essentially, that's where we're at. We're in a prison. Okay. He's off to do whatever it is that he's going to do. The opportunity to just shut the door behind him and lock it this time. Hey, kiddo, I'm just going to lock this door. Thank you. Okay. Just for the next 8 minutes while we try and finish this up. Okay. Good night, Sasha. Oh, now he's mad. Okay. Sasha stood unmoving in the foyer. He dropped his bag of tattered clothing to the floor, staring ahead blankly. He was alone again. Sasha's arms hung heavy at his sides. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Okay, the stillness of the apartment felt surreal. Even with the lights off, it was easy to see. Everything was bathed in a gentle white radiance from the moonlight spilling in through the large window. The room was immaculate compared to his downtown studio apartment. The kitchen was easily 3 times the size of his own. He frowned. Jesus, this place is massive. Sasha looked down on his feet, staring at the shoes Dima had given him. He then glanced over at his sneakers by the door, the ones that he'd worn on that night. His chest grew tighter the longer he stared. Finally, he just kicked the plain shoes off. Putting the thought out of his mind, Sasha padded slowly across the cold tile. His footsteps were light despite how heavy his body felt. He pushed the sliding door open, revealing the bedroom. Oh my gosh, you just made it. I'm sorry, we're at the tail end of the stream. Mr. Kiwi is starting to get really upset. The sight of the large bed made Sasha's body feel even heavier. His legs moved on their own, carrying him over to the bed where he flopped down. He didn't even bother crawling beneath the covers, simply curled on top of them. By the way, welcome to the stream, Dylan. Welcome. Sasha closed his eyes, hoping he'd fall asleep quickly, but he didn't. Behind closed lids, Sasha imagined being in his room on his cheap bed. The sound of his TV would be playing in the background, and Mishka would be sitting at the foot of his bed, scrolling through his phone. He was always there whether Sasha's texted him to come over or not. Instinctively, his hand began searching for his phone. He didn't feel anything. Sasha's eyes showed open, and he lifted his head to look around. Where's my phone? Is there anything else the universe wants to take from me? Deep down, he already knew that he was back in that alley. He laid his head back down on the pillow. He gave Mishka a million keys to his apartment if it meant not feeling like this. Feelings of sadness, fear, and confusion were rushing and his heart began to race. Tears blurred his vision, and a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions overwhelmed him, and he curled up tighter. Stifled sobs broke the silence of the apartment and continued long into the night. No, what do you mean? You like the sweats? No, the jacket is iconic. No. Oh, you like him in the gray clothes? I'll admit that like gray kind of brings out his eyes like a little bit, but like that jacket was iconic. That jacket was an art piece. I wanted that jacket. We all wanted that jacket. His body ached. He tried to move, but felt the cold bite of restraints at his wrist. Sasha, ugh, I can't see. Darkness surrounded him, and the feeling of fabric against his face was a quick indication of what kind of predicament he was in. He grimaced and began to struggle, testing the strength of the rope tied around his body. I wouldn't do that if I were you. You still have a pretty big gash on your side there. That was not a voice he recognized. Mishka scowled, and oh my God, you were making pad thai and you didn't think to share with the class? Wow. That sounds delicious. God damn it, now I want pad thai. How about you come over here and take this bag off? Sorry, I'm not allowed to. The flashy works better on Mishka? Oh my God. Oh my God. I am hurt that you would say such a thing, priest. I am genuinely, my feelings are so hurt. I love that jacket. Sorry, I'm not allowed to fraternize with prisoners, only keep watch. I'll let the boss know you're awake. Again, try not to struggle too much. You'll beat all over the floor, and then I'll have to clean it up. Metal chair legs scraped harshly against the concrete floor as the man stood up and walked away. Mishka swiveled his head, following the direction of the noise. He heard the hollow clang of a metal door slamming shut. Then nothing. He knew he was alone. God damn it. Sasha, I hope you're okay. Cody, why didn't you remind Aurora to show up to the stream? Several painfully slow minutes passed by in silence. Mishka slowly flexed his fingers, gripping the edges of the cuffs that bound his arms behind him. Still nothing budged. Suddenly, door swung open. Oh, he paints his nails black. You know that he's serious. He listened to MCR like once. And that's it.
How nice of you to finally join us. Did you sleep well?
I don't know. God, this man is still so sexy. Look at them hips. Oh my God, look at this man's hips. Can we all just appreciate? I'm sorry. Catcalling an assassin is what's one day going to get me killed. One day. The man who had just entered, stopped in front of Mishka, his eyes upturned in a thin smile. A slim man dressed in black hovered beside him like a guard dog, waiting for any signs of trouble. If you only wanted to see me so badly, all you had to do was ask nicely and on your knees. Blood was smeared across the corner of his mouth and stained his shirt, spreading across the fabric around a stab wound like spilled ink. Every move he sent a spike of pain radiating out from the deep gash. Oh, good. I was worried you wouldn't be able to talk, what with you being gutted and all. I'll have to thank Ada for leaving you in such great condition. Mishka gave a wide fake smile, his teeth flashing sharply in the bright light. Thanks for your concern. I'm touched. So what's the occasion? Birthday party? Wedding? Roman's eyes narrowed slightly, his smile unmoving. You're a busy man, Mishka. Think of this as a well-deserved, unpaid vacation. How generous of you. But you're wasting your time, Roman. You know how it goes. I'd rather die than give you information, blah, blah, blah. You think I brought you here for information? There's nothing that you have that I need. Then why did your pet over there stab me and drag me here? Why F around like this and keep me alive? No need to be so eager to die. Live bait always works better. And you really think that will distract Dima? His hands twisted behind the chair, trying to slide out of the cuffs. From what? What is he doing? You ask a lot of questions for someone with one foot in the grave. Besides, you're Dima's favorite, and he'd do just about anything to get you back. Jealous. I've heard about your little love story. Ada's brows furrowed and he looked away. Roman tilted his head and stared in silence. Quietly, he reached back and placed a hand on Ada's thigh. He slid his fingers along the other man's leg before unsheathing the knife hidden there. He just knows that he keeps the knife on that thigh. It's just like, hey, I need something. He turned back to Mishka, twisting and turning the blade under the light, observing how the light gleamed off its sharp edge. Gonna give me a scar to match the one I gave you? Oh. Ow. Oh, that would feel horrible. Bro, come on. It would be a very cute scar. It would look like a sunburn. But that would really hurt. That would not be fun. Mishka cried out and bowed his head, snarling. Good idea. Roman held the knife out to Ada, his cold eyes watching Mishka writhe in agony. Ada took the knife and, after flicking the blood off the end of the blade, slid it back into his thigh holster. The moment you are no longer useful, I will have you killed, you and your little friend from the club. Mishka's heart skipped a beat. Eyes wide, he whipped his head up, face throbbing in pain. He winced. What are you talking about? A smile returned to Roman's face, and he glanced back at Ada, briefly exchanging looks. Ada told me about your friend. Sasha, was it? Mishka glanced between them. His breathing had grown heavier, chest tight with rising panic. He struggled harder against his restraints, desperate to break free. Roman, he has nothing to do with this. Oh, but I think he has everything to do with you, Mishka. No, leave him out of it. Don't bring him into this. You already did, remember? Roman pulled the phone from his pocket and unlocked the screen. So many missed calls until he picked up, and just look at all of these messages. Roman chuckled, his thumb browsing nonchalantly. Let me come over tonight. You were just there. Chill out. Give me a key. We're practically married anyway. I filed for a divorce. Roman's laugh made Mishka's stomach twist in knots. These are pitiful, Mishka. Blood dripped on Mishka's cheek and a few drops to the ground. He's like, "You're a simp! Simp! Simp!" I'm sorry. It's true though. Mishka's a little bit simpy, It's fine. He's a wonderful man. He does not deserve to be scarred across his face. Even if he's a sim. Look at you, all worked up over a boy who doesn't even like you. Oh my god. Oh, that would really hurt. Oh, that would hurt my very little soul if someone told me that. Roman slipped the phone back into his pocket and turned to leave. Placing his hand on the door handle, he paused and looked over his shoulder. There's only a thin line between obsession and insanity, Mishka, and the way you jump through hoops for even a scrap of his attention is just pathetic. Ada's gaze flickered toward Roman, glancing up at the other man from where he stood close at his side. After a moment, he lowered his eyes back to the ground. Roman opened the steel door. Oh my god, pot kettle black. That is. Wow, I did not realize I was stepping into like some drama here. Try not to bleed out. The door slammed behind them, the sound echoing through the empty cell. Yeah, I'm wondering why he thinks that, I guess. If you ask me, they're very flirty with each other. I'm like, I would just be like, is this your FWB? Like this I feel like it's fine. Whatever. Don't cry, Mishka. It's okay. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta move on. I'm not gonna read all that dialogue. I'm sorry. It's hurting. Let's keep going. Let's power through. Let's go. Fatality. Sasha's eyes ached. His head pounded, waves of pain beating against the inside of his skull. He hadn't crawled outside of the bed since he'd arrived, and he had no intention to. But you have all these wine glasses that you can use to indulge in your alcoholism. Several times during the night, he had woken up only to stare at the clock that didn't seem to move. It was the longest night he could remember. This looks like a real nice cooktop. All I gotta say, if you threw me in an apartment that looked like this, I would probably just be cooking. Sasha never wanted to sleep so badly, but his body kept denying him. At least he was able to slip into shallow naps after his eyes grew tired of crying. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, rock. I know you're in there. You literally haven't left this room, so there's nowhere else you could be. Ugh. Sasha jolted awake with a sharp gasp with a loud banging. His heart raced in his chest. He lifted his head, red eyes narrowed as he tried to process the sudden noise. Hello? No, Tulip, he's definitely a cat person. Just give him a minute. What in the... Crawling slowly out of his cocoon of sheets, Sasha stumbled through his feet and into the living room. Every shuffling step sent twinges of pain through his heavy limbs. Sasha approached the front door, leaning close to look out the peephole. He was met by the gaze of a man with large purple eyes. His face was right up against the door as if he'd been trying to peer into the peephole on the other side. The man was up on his tiptoes, and an overstuffed basket hung from the crook of his elbow, the same hand clenching something much larger at his side. The visitor pulled his arm back, balled into his fist, and quickly rapped at the door more further than before. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Hello? He cleared his throat. 1 second. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Do y'all see how cute that cat is? Thank God, finally. Do you know how long I was out here? For a split second, I thought you were dead, but then I was like, no way. So I knocked harder, and here you are. Sasha's brow furrowed slightly. And you are probably the man that Mishka goes to when you're not available. An explosive laughter erupted from the shorter man. Each giggle shook the contents of his basket. I see we have the same taste in men. It was stuffed to the brim with colorful items, and tucked in the crook of the man's arm was a large calico cat. As if you don't know who I am. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. You're funny. David didn't tell me that you were funny. A mile-wide smile grew from ear to ear as the stranger stared ahead at Sasha. Oh, you were serious. Do I not seem serious? Is that seriously a cat? What else could it be, Sasha? What? Did you get hit on the head that hard, my man? Okay. Well, since you don't seem to be in the know, I'm Pavel. You can call me Pav, and this is Tulip, my cat. Oh, no, she's so cute. Pavel gently gripped the rotund... Oh, that's so cute. Leash training. This cat is not a leash train. This is a chubby baby. He gently gripped the rotund cat with both hands and held her out in front of himself with a proud smile. Sasha blinked a few times. So, what are you? Dima sent me down to check on you. And by check on you, I mean he wants me to ask you if you remember anything from the other night. But I'm not going to do that. So instead, the short man set the cat down by his feet and took a hold of the basket's handle, thrusting it out toward Sasha's chest. Tulip rubbed against Pavel's ankle and sat quietly nearby. I brought you like a ton of stuff. Sasha took the basket and looked down to see soap, shampoo, a loofah, and candles. I was thinking that this man was asking me to take a romantic bath with him. And I was about to be like, I mean, like, yeah, the answer is yes, but like, the confidence hurts. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but everyone needs candles sometimes. They heal the soul. The confidence hurts because it's confidence that I wish that I had. Now, the shampoo has like a lavender extract in it, so it smells super good. And I made it myself. I don't normally use this stuff. Yes, I can tell. You stink.
Anyway,
Oh my god. I'm gonna crawl into a hole and like die. So anyway, I know you haven't left your room or anything, but have you thought about taking a peek around and stuff? Aren't you at least a little bit curious? That cat is so cute. I don't think your boss wants me wandering the halls. He didn't exactly roll out the welcome wagon. He's not my boss. Pavel shrugged and glanced down at Tulip before he picked her up and cradled her like a baby. Don't pay Dima any mind, really. I run the show here. So, want to come up with me to my wing? That wide smile returned, and Pavel leaned closer to Sasha. Do I get a choice? Do I get a choice? Could I be like, hey, Mishka, does this lock me into an ending? Because like, could I be like, hey, Mishka, like, I thought you were dead, so I kind of hooked up with Pav. Sorry, like, is that an option? Actually, I'm probably just gonna hang out here. Hey, yeah, that's what I said. Hang out with me here in this building. Though my wing is on the fourth floor, so you'll have to take the elevator that's down the hall. That's not really what I meant. Oh, and shower first. Okay. After giving an affirming nod, Pavel turned on his heel and started off. Fourth floor. Sasha stood there in stunned silence. Basket in hand, he watched his visitor turn the corner and disappear out of sight. What just happened? What just happened? My man, you've got a date that you gotta wash up for. Come on, he cute. Let's go. After some fiddling with the shower now, he got the water running and began to strip down. Sasha felt his stomach drop when he saw himself in the mirror. Never in his life had he seen his body like this, fragile, battered and bruised, swathed in bandages. No wonder why he felt like shit. It's great. It's battle scars. Men love it, women love it. It's great. Just do it. Just show up there looking like garbage. He probably looks even worse. As quickly, the shower is all he cares about. As quickly as the thought entered Sasha's mind, he pushed it out. He had the nearby basket and its contents. Reluctantly, he reached for the small bottle and stepped into the warm stream of water to wash up. Sasha gives me the feeling that like he's not really interested in men that are. Pav comes across to me at least as a little bit more effeminate, and I think that Sasha kind of straddles that line between effeminate and kind of masculine. So, and he seems Mishka, in my opinion, is also kind of masculine. So I don't know if Pav is his type, but we'll see. We'll see. It'd be nice if he likes both masculine and more effeminate men. That would be nice. That would be a wonderful surprise. Because sometimes with visual novels, I've noticed it's like one way or like the very rigidly like one way or the other. So I would love to see something where we could explore a relationship with Pav. He towed on his shoes, tucked his C card into his pocket, and made his way out of the unfamiliar apartment. The door closed behind him with a soft click and a beep. I mean, this man has a cat. Like that is instantly desirable. Like no matter who you are. Okay, elevators, this way. Not really sure where he was going. Sasha started down the hallway and peered around as he went, searching for the elevators. Everything was so sleek and spotless, it was hard not to get caught up in staring at it while he walked. Hello, who is this? Okay, he kind of cute, but he looked like he bitchy and like he has a lot of more money than I do. Oh crap, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's a Strexa worker. I didn't see you there, my bad. Yeah, I think that he could be flexible. I'm not sure how flexible he is. Oh no, it was probably my bad. I was playing Flappy Bat, so please don't worry about it. I like Flappy Bat. You get it? I'd like to think I'm really good. Yeah. Nice. That's perfect because I'm stuck on this one level and I could use some help. If you're going to the cafeteria, you could help me out. Sasha blinked in surprise and took another step back. I'm not hungry. Some other time. Oh, yeah, totally cool. Oh, cool. Have a good day then. Sasha, was it? Does everyone know my name? Yeah, I didn't catch yours. That's because it's Jonas. Anyway, catch you later? Yeah, sure. Okay, goodbye, Jonas. I'll miss you. Jonas, go away. Why are you hovering in the corner? Don't be weird. Hi, do you need help with anything? You look a bit lost. Me? No, I just Sasha bit the inside of his lip. Where are the elevators? They're right behind, actually. Down that hall there. I know, confusing, right? Oh, I see. Thank you. I feel like I'm trying to navigate a hospital. Hospital with no signs. Yep, see you, Sasha. You're going to help me with that Flappy Bat level later. Didn't the creator of Flappy Bird have this existential crisis where he ended up deleting the Flappy Bird game because he said that it had ruined his life or something? Man, what a time. What a time. Sasha offered a fake smile and a small wave when Jonas strode off. Now that he had directions, he headed toward the elevators. Why does this door specifically look like it was taken out of the Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle? This is the Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. Once he reached them, he hit the down button and stood back, waiting. The moment the elevator doors opened on the fourth floor, Sasha was hit with a wave of fluorescence. It wasn't a mystery as to why once he stepped out into the open room. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. But unfortunately, I can hear my little cat crying, and we're going to have to bring this to an end a little bit earlier than I had wanted to tonight, sobbing and inconsolable outside my door. So, unfortunately, I'm going to be bringing this up. Also, my throat hurts and I'm almost out of water. So, I'm going to bring this episode to a close, but this is really interesting. This is gorgeous, by the way. I love everything about this. I love the textures, the combinations. Before I sign off, I will say one thing. I love the combination of textures in this game. I'm not quite sure how they're getting the foliage to be so lifelike and rich and beautiful. It's insane. I love it. I love the way that the light kind of plays with the room as well. Thank you. Kiwi loves you too, but Kiwi is currently upset and crying. I think he's just upset because I had left him at home when I went to the when I went to the concert last week. So I think that that's why he's being especially he's always needy. Those of you who are here on a normal basis, you know that this cat is needy, but he's especially needy this week. So I just want to give him a little bit of extra attention and extra love and hopefully get him out of that habit because ignoring him doesn't seem to work. Anyways, this is gorgeous. This game is gorgeous. I'm having so much fun. I'm going to be playing more. I'm probably not going to do another stream with this game, but you can expect to see episodes because I prefer to break these down a little bit more episode to episode. It also, streams also give way to, interruptions such as like my cat. So I would love for us to be able to deep dive more into the game itself. So hoping to get to recording some more episodes for the channel this weekend specifically so that you guys aren't sitting through like an hour and 12 minutes of me. For those of you who might be coming here to just check out the individual routes, I especially want to make it a little bit easier for you to be able to kind of digest it here on the site. But with that, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this stream, please leave a like as it really does help the channel out. Also consider subscribing. When you subscribe, be sure to hit the notifications bell so you get updates on when I upload future episodes. Also do future streams. Without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, everybody.